I'm gonna wait for everybody to come back. Yes, honey. Just give a few seconds for everybody to come back on in, and then we can get the show started, honey. The mic wasn't feeling the puff. The mic wasn't feeling the puff, honey. The mic couldn't take the ganja, honey. The mic, hey Yama, hey my love. The mic couldn't take the ganja. All right, no further ado. I ain't gonna keep pressing it. We're gonna bring in our first guest. Honey. Cause honey, Instagram won't chop your bitch again. I'm telling you that. Golly. Hell no. Guys, are you ready? Guys, are you ready to come in? Hey, friend.
Hey.
How many people, your name and your age?
Jeremy Christopher, and I'm 29.
And what are your preferred pronouns?
He and they.
Okay. Do you identify as non-binary?
Yes.
Okay. Um, and tell us where you're at. And if you don't want to give an exact, you can give us a region.
I'm in Ohio, the Midwest.
Oh, I. It's strange to me because I've never been to the Midwest. West Coast, all I've ever been is Cali and Vegas. But somehow I've connected with a lot of Midwesterners.
I'm not originally from Ohio. I'm from Texas, but I'm just stationed here with the military.
So that answers our next question. And thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
What branch do you serve in?
I'm in the Air Force.
Oh. Are you a pilot?
I am not.
You like to fly?
No, I'm actually terrified of planes, but I travel a lot. I hate turbulence. It don't do it for me.
Baby, honey, I don't have wings, so I'm scared to fly too. And I think any human who is scared to fly, it makes fucking sense, honey. So what made you want to go to Air Force since you're not into flying and stuff?
I'm a military brat. My dad's in the Army for 23 years, so I didn't want to go to the Army or the Marines. So I just said I'd do the Air Force. So
why not the Marines? I hear a lot of rumors about the Marines, but I'm curious. Okay. That video will be coming soon, people. So, when I know that you're non-binary, but how do you identify as far as sexual orientation?
Homosexual, gay.
So, like, you're attracted to other men, or just like specifically other non-binary people?
Both.
Not mad, not mad. Have you ever dated trans? Have you ever dated somebody under the umbrella?
I've talked to a few trans people before, but we never got to that point. So,
Gotcha. And since we're on that topic, how long have you been single?
right now it's been about 2.5 years.
Okay. And how long was your last relationship? Just curious.
4.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked in the chat, define non-binary. From my understanding, someone who is non-binary, someone who doesn't identify completely with either male nor female. And those are the binaries. Male is binary, female is the binary. The non-binary are the people who fall somewhere in the middle, or who may feel like they're neither gender or a bit of both.
Yep.
Would you say the same, Jeremy?
I would.
And what's your zodiac, or what's your B-Day?
13 March. I'm a Pisces.
Oh. You share a birthday with my brother. That's interesting.
Okay.
I would say that my brother is very sneaky. Would you say that people have that critique of you?
I'm not sneaky. I just don't publicize everything.
Uh-huh. Okay. Do you think that you're ready for love now? You said it's been 2.5 years. Do you think that you're ready for love after that hiatus?
Yeah, I would say I am. Did a lot of soul searching, figuring out who I truly am, and what I really like. So
I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you
I can
see
hear you
me?
now. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Good, good. I'm sorry about that. I forgot to turn on Do Not Disturb, and I do not want your interview to be interrupted. So that will be edited out. And I'm sorry. Could you please repeat what you said? I heard you say that you've been soul searching, and that
Yep.
was I
Soul
heard.
searching, figuring out who I am, what I truly like, and then like the energy I want to be around, and the people I want to hang around. Like so
Would you so far so far in your journey? What do you think is the energy or the type of person that you would want to be around?
someone who doesn't look at life through a microscopic lens. Someone who always sees like everything through both sides. Who's like very understanding and open to getting to the root of the problem or issue that you guys have. So like I don't know how to explain it. Like I like people who like kind of like sees things from both sides. Um, I'm losing my words right now. Fuck. Excuse my language. Um,
Would you say that someone who's open-minded, like the type of personality who's willing to try something before saying that they don't like it?
yeah.
Would you say that you're not a big fan of people who are stubborn?
Mm-mm.
That's the impression I got. That's what I felt like you were
Thank you.
saying. What do you think are some of your strengths as a person or as a partner?
Um, communication's a big one for me. Always honest. Very loving. Very supportive. Um, I'll always be in your corner no matter what, no matter the issues we have, friend or lover. I always have your back no matter what we go through.
I, what would you say are weaknesses for you?
Even though I'm very open, I do shut out sometimes as well just to process things on my own. But it's not to say that I don't want to talk to you. I just want to gather my thoughts first before I approach you with the issue I do have for you. And some people say that's like an issue or like a weakness, but I don't know.
No, I get that. I understand that. I can be a bit of that. That depends on the situation. Typically, how long does it take you to process? Let's say you had an argument this evening with your partner to the point that you needed to leave the house. Approximately how long would you need? Would you need to sleep on it, or would you need just a couple of hours?
Um, I think the most time I've ever taken for like an issue was probably like a day and a half.
Okay, I take it. What are deal breakers for you?
Lying and cheating. That's the end of my last relationship is lying and cheating. So I can't do that. I can't do that anymore.
You said your last relationship ended because of lying and cheating
Mm-hmm.
on your part or the other person.
Their part.
The other person was a liar and cheater.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. I've been through that myself, and I know how it can take a toll on someone else.
Yeah. It did definitely had an effect on me, but I'm back. I'm better. So
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I hope you remember that the issue ultimately wasn't you. You know, those type of people, they'll always try and blame everyone else for their misdeeds, but the issue is never us. It's always their own unresolved shit.
there's a question in the chat that someone said, my gay friends tend to go after straight men versus gay men for some reason. What are your thoughts on that? For me
Go
personally, from what I've always encountered for myself, they approach me before I approach them. I never go after them. They
but
initiate it
straight guys.
straight. So most men that go after me are either straight or bisexual. I've never had like a full gay man tried to talk to me before. So
why do you think that is?
I honestly have no idea. People say because I'm a very open person, very welcoming and inviting. So that might be like one of the reasons. But I don't. Other than that, I don't know.
Do you are you femme or masculine presenting or a bit of both? Because I know
Bit of,
you're binary.
a bit of both.
Okay, that could be a factor. Guys, I've noticed in my experience, I got a lot of guys who tend to identify as straight, tend to be attracted to femininity, and that's probably why they're able to pass for straight. Um, My opinion, I think it's a lot of things. I think when gay guys specifically go after DL, trade, straight assuming, straight appearing, straight acting, whatever they call themselves these days. Um,
Hmm.
I think when gay men specifically go after those types, it's a validation thing. I think that they're attempting to be as close to cis heteronormative normativity.
Yep.
I think that they're attempting to get as close to straightness as possible. And I think that there are a lot of gay men who have internalized homophobia. And that's one of the ways in which they express that. Um, I think when you're gay or when you identify as gay, but you find gay traits unattractive, stereotypical personality traits that may be deemed as gay, unattractive, I think that in itself is internalized homophobia. But that's just my opinion.
I completely agree. Because in a sense, you're hating that person for who they truly are and who they truly present themselves as. So you say you don't like that, well, you don't like that person then, at the end of the day.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. But to each his own.
hmm,
Since we're on that topic, do you have any physical preferences for a partner?
no, as long as I find you attractive and you have good personality, you can make me laugh, you can vibe, it's good with me.
Do you tend to be, because you said you tend to attract or date straight identifying or bi guys? Do you tend to be more attracted to masculine presenting or feminine presenting men?
Masculine, but I don't mind the femininity aspect too as well. Like if you are feminine, it's not an issue for me. But
But you said you typically don't attract that.
mm-mm.
That's funny. That's funny to me because I attract feminine people all the time, so it's funny to me when others don't. Um, would you consider yourself more of a dominant or a submissive personality when dating or in relationships?
I'm literally directly in the middle.
Switchy. It
Yeah.
depends on the day, depends on the situation, kind of thing.
Hmm.
I can relate. Is physical intimacy important to you?
I mean that it is, but it's not like a deal breaker for me. But it's not all the way there. I'm more or less like the cuddler or like the hugger type person, kisses whatever. But like actual full intimacy, it's not like a huge big thing for me.
That is, I think you're one of the first to say that. I think you're one of the first and only to say that. Would you say that you're on the ace spectrum? Like, would you say that you're like more demisexual or something along those lines? Is it more about physical affection than actual sex for you?
Yes.
I get it. I get it. Definitely look into the asexual spectrum. There may be some interesting things that you learn. There may be some interesting things that you learn. I learned some interesting things about myself. I found out that I was demisexual, and it's completely changed how I date.
Okay.
Um, are you monogamous or open to non-monogamy?
I'm open to it, but like I like monogamy, but I'm always open to exploring if I do like that. And I've never had that option to explore if I want to be in an open relationship before, but I'm not against it.
I respect it. When were you last physically intimate with someone? I know you've been single for 2.5 years, but when were you last intimate with someone?
Probably about 4 months ago.
Okay. Could you see yourself dating that person? Could you see that going further?
No.
Why not?
Um, like we're real good friends, but it's just not there. He doesn't get me on that emotional type level. So
There's no spark.
there's a spark when he wants there to be a spark, but if not, there's no spark. So
Oh, wishy-washy.
hmm
No, baby, we can't settle for the wishy-washy. No, not at all. Do you have an age range when dating?
um, no one under the age of 25.
So 25 and older?
Mm-hmm.
And remind me, how old are you, friend?
29.
29 up?
Mm-hmm.
Telling you, black don't crack unless you smoke. Because I was about to say, baby, nobody under 25, but you look like you struggling to be over 25, honey. Uh, Have you all, has that always been parameters for you when dating? Has it always been someone your age or older?
um, no, when I was younger, like I would say like 19, 20, I always dated older, but since I'm like 29, I kind of like lowered that age range down a little bit to like open my dating pool up a little bit more. So,
Depending on how it goes, you
yep.
may be raising that age back. How do you feel about kids? Would you date somebody who has a kid?
I've dated people who have kids before, so it's not a. It's I've been around kids my entire life. My mom, she worked at a daycare. Now she's a Christian Academy director. So when I go home, kids are always around. So
That's actually something we have in common too. To this day, my mom still works with kids. Are you open to marriage?
yeah, I've been married before. So
How long were you married, friend?
the 4 years
Oh, the 4 year relationship. This 2.5 years that you've been single, you've been a divorcee.
I have, yes.
Oh, did you throw a divorce party? Curious. I heard that's a thing now.
I did not throw a divorce party. No.
It ain't never too late. Um, but but you said you're open to marriage in the future, though,
Yeah.
right? I take it. How long were I'm just curious, how long were y'all together before you got married?
On and off for 6 years.
On and off for 6 years, and that included the 4 years of marriage?
No.
That oh, so altogether it was like 10.
Yep.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, friend. We got to get you some new experiences because you had to be young. Like that had to be what, around 19, 20?
19.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
First real relationship.
Oh my Lord. You want to know what's funny? I like that would have literally been my situation. My first relationship ever, first real love, moved out of a small town, went to the city, first dude I dated who was worth being with, or who likes me enough to be with. Um, shacked up with him. He tried to marry me and I ran. So I was potentially, I think if I hadn't transitioned though, I wouldn't have ran. So yeah, that's interesting. I find that interesting. Do you have any income requirements for a partner?
As long as you can stand on your own 2 feet, that's it.
That I just want to make a note that that has been quite consistent amongst, the LGBTQ plus population that's come on this show. Finance hasn't mattered as much. But when I watch the straight version of this show, the answers are very much The answers are very much different, and I find it interesting because, on average, queer people, we tend to have more disposable income than straight people, and they're more pressed about income than we are. So that's funny. Do you prefer a night in or a night out?
It depends what the definition of night out is. Like, it could be like a dinner movie type night out, or like going out, like clubbing.
You tell me.
I'm gonna say like a nice dinner, drinks, and that's about it. Not really going clubbing, but I will go clubbing with my friends, but
Are you one of those who will club with your friends but not with your partner, not with your boyfriend?
not anymore. I gotta go back up to that. So
What happened? Something happened in the club with your ex?
yeah.
Did you end up in a fight?
Not a physical fight, but yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that nobody was hurt physically. I'm glad that I'm hoping there was no charges pressed.
Oh no, none of that. No.
Okay, okay. I know emotional scars. I don't want to appear like I'm trying to belittle emotional scars, but I know that physical scars can limit our progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and legal scars,
Mm.
yeah, can really stick with us. I'm being somebody with a lot of emotional scars who can manage them for the most part. I'm confident that everybody will get to a place where they can as well.
Yeah,
Um, do you know your love languages?
I do.
And what are they?
Quality time and physical touch.
I take it. Are you willing to relocate for love, or does the person have to be in Ohio? I know, I know you're in the Navy.
Touch to the A.
Oh, the air. Yes, because you're scared to fly. I know that you're in the Air Force, but and I'm imagining that you probably travel a lot. But would you be willing to relocate for love, or would the person have to kind of be willing to travel with you?
I mean, currently right now, probably travel with me because I can't really, travel for love in a sense because I'm locked in a location for X amount of days or X amount of years. But if I was not there, I would travel for love.
I take it. I take it. Um, do you think that you being in the Air Force has an effect on your dating life?
Definitely.
How so?
Um, Location.
And
So
kind of stationary.
yeah, like here in Ohio, it's been a very rocky dating experience.
How can you give me a brief preview?
So I know people have fetishes. I've understood that whatever. I've never seen people fetishize. For me personally, I've never experienced it. For me personally, like fetishing like dating a black person or like only wanted to date black people. So that was an eye opener for me.
Next case, because baby, I don't want to get caught on that one, honey. I try to keep this show showing a different side of Brie. Uh,
Hmm.
what? And this is the last question. What would make you a great partner for someone else?
I mean, like I said earlier, like I'm the type of person like I'll be very understanding. I'll always be there for. I'll be there to support you through no matter what. I'm very patient. I'm slow to speak but quick to listen. So
I take it. We have another question in the chat. Business is pleasure. You be really coming with the questions. I appreciate you, love. You're going to have to come through more often. The question from Business is Pleasure. Have you seen any discrimination in the Air Force being a gay man?
Yeah, I've experienced it myself, so people get a little wild at the mouth, but I'm always here, for a little tussle every once in a while.
Like homophobic comments and stuff?
Hmm.
Are there a lot of mm, guess that's a loaded question. Um what's the ratio with you and like other openly queer people as compared to the straight or straight assuming?
Um, so like the military is like 1% of the population. So think about that 1% as a 0.01% basically.
Well,
At
um
least from my experience as a whole. I don't know about everyone else's experience. That's my experience as a whole.
I've I've gotten that impression, but I never really I never asked. Full disclosure, I dated someone who was in the military, in the Marine, and it's different asking someone you're dating versus a friend because
Hmm.
someone you're dating, may have reason not to be completely honest with
Yep.
you. Yeah, yeah. Well, tell the people how to get in touch with you, friend.
I'm on obviously I'm on Instagram, underscore see no more. I'm on TikTok too as well. I don't really post that often, but I do post every once in a while. JC Bryce on there. Those are like my two main outlets. So
I'm gonna spell out your Instagram. On IG, you can find friend at underscore SEENOMOR underscore C no more. Thank you for coming on, friend. Thank you so much.
thank you for this. I really appreciate it.
No, no problem, no problem. I will definitely keep you posted on when everything is posted.
Okay, sounds good.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Yes, yes, honey. How y'all doing? I can't put the camera down too low, honey. I'm not a girl who crosses her legs very well, and it would be given only fans, honey, with no tips. That's what we're not going to do in Jesus' name, amen. Honey. Hmm. How y'all doing? How y'all doing out in the chat? I hate homophobic shit with a passion, and I'm a straight man. Baby, honey. I don't understand how conscious black people can be so comfortable with homophobia. At the end of the day, you're simply discriminating against somebody because they're different from you, or different from what you're told is normal, or what may be normal to you. Everybody's normal is different. Everybody's normal looks different. Hey, Think. So who's single and wants to come up next, honey? We got time. We got time, and I know y'all heard me slurring on my words and shit, so that means I got a drink tonight. Mind your motherfucking business. Don't judge me, it's just wine. Praise the Lord. Who coming up? Ron, you single? You coming up tonight? It's a lot going on behind the scenes. Drunk on tea. Yes, honey. It's a whole show every Wednesday on TikTok, every Wednesday evening on TikTok. I'm drunk as hell. Wrong. If you are uncomfortable with your hair, put a hat on. If you are comfortable with your hair, bring your ass on. If anybody has anything to say about your hair, they're racist or anti-black. Honey, we ain't got time. Anybody else want to come up? I know y'all in here single. I know y'all in here single. Y'all gonna be twerking on Grindr after we get off this live. Praise the Lord. Oh, it's like one of the cats in here act like she's scared of me, honey. I'll give her something to be scared of. I am the big puss in the building. So, Ron, you coming up a while. I don't want to ambush you. Yes, yes, Miles. That's Miles. All I can do is praise the Lord, and all y'all can do is pray for me. Yes, pray for me. Pray for me right now. I'm telling you, I need prayer, honey. The crackers is coming for my motherfucking profession. They trying to hem me up. They trying to stop your girl from being able to practice psychology. I think it's too many crackers and colonizers online for them. All right, Ron, I'm gonna give you a second. I'm gonna just say, oh, I forgot. I got a Bilica, honey. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, JC. Thank you, love. Yes, they want me to have to stop practicing psychology. Cause imagine, it's bad enough that I preach on here to teach niggas to be comfortable with themselves, especially queer niggas. That's one strike. Strike two, bitch, if I could teach a comfortable queer nigga to be comfortable with themselves and give them all the tools they need to improve their state of mind on a consistent basis, we gonna be some dangerous motherfuckers out here. They said Joe Black tranny ass will not. They gonna fight me every step of the way, honey. But I'm a fighter. I was born fighting, honey. Give me 1 second, bro. I don't wanna cough in your face. So let me just get a puff. You know how we do it. It's like the Apollo back in the day when they had to rub the wood before they come on, honey. You gotta take a puff before everybody come on. So we know that I make it through the interview without sounding too drunk. Okay, praise the Lord. Y'all give it up for our next guest. This is my friend, honey. Come on in, friend.
Hi.
Hey, friend, give the people your name and your pronouns, please.
Hi, Roan, and pretty much they, them. I will accept all pronouns, but they, them are the ones I prefer for myself.
And that, for clarity, that does mean that you're non-binary, right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay, okay, I dig it, I dig it. And your hair looks gorgeous.
It was standing up, and I'm like, oops.
Friend, you know sometimes I come online with my shit standing up, honey.
Yeah, I was just like, hang on. You know what? Especially, I feel bad because I do my hair. I have my barber do the sides, but I actually do the locks myself. So I'm just like, I'm not coming on here looking a mess.
Yes, yes, I dig learning your own beauty routine. I definitely recommend it for anybody who has the time and or patience. And how old are you, friends?
35.
35. You're gray and young, friend. Or is that gray not natural?
My mama was living with me for 3 years, and she's like one of those toxic Christians, so she stressed me out.
Where are you located, friend?
San Diego, I'm out here in Cali, down at the bottom.
And you said that your mom lives with you?
She did. She did.
And you grew up in toxic Christianity.
Specifically toxic a Catholic Roman Catholic household, but yeah.
I have no personal experience. I have no close friends in real life who are Catholic. Do you know the basic difference between Catholic and Christian? All I know is that Catholics believe that you can go to confession.
Catholicism is more so witchcraft with nobody saying it out loud, and the biggest difference historically is the Bible that we use. So they have the Roman Catholic Bible versus the King James version, and Catholics supposedly, like, they took over the world at some point and they were the ones leading the Crusades. But the King James version was brought out. I want to say it's King James. I'm pretty sure it's King James. I'm a little, I kind of know the facts, but basically, he wanted to get divorced. The Pope wouldn't allow him to get divorced, so he decided to burn some books in the Bible and create his own Bible, and then give that out for all the rest of the Christians to actually use.
Yeah, I remember that part. I'm just still lost on like the difference, but I'll figure it out. I'll research it. This time is about you, not King James. Any bitches. Um, where are you located, friend?
San Diego down in California.
Tell me that, Cali. What is your zodiac or your B-Day?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. Which month?
December. I
Which,
know. We mean. We mean.
thank you for saying it. I have never been really close with romantically or platonically with a Capricorn, so I don't know the stereotypes honestly.
Uh, Basically, the biggest stereotype is that we're mean, but we are mean. But it's once you get to know us, we're the sweetest people, and we will support you 200%. We'll always be there for you. We're faithful, but we're always. It's just kind of like we're mean because it's just like, nah, your energy don't feel right. Don't look at me. Like, take that mess over there.
Okay, it makes sense. And how do you identify as far as sexual orientation?
Pansexual.
Okay, hey friend. And what do you do for a living?
Uh, a lot. So I am a data analyst for a government contractor. I'm a massage therapist and a body cavitation tech.
A body.
Body cavitation. So you use sound waves and heat to break up fat in the body and tighten skin.
That's one of those lunchtime procedure kind of things.
Yes. So you can typically get the procedure done in 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the power of the machine and the experience that the tech has, and also what your goals are.
Okay, I got a couple things to research after the show tonight, huh? Why would you say that you're a single, friend?
Currently, because my ex was trash.
Trash house so wrong.
So, long story short, I told this cultural story about giving somebody a watch, like if you want to break up. And and this was at a big dinner in front of like a bunch of friends. And 2 weeks later, he had a watch for me, but he had been cheating for like 3 or 4 months with somebody else that I had turned down years ago, and he knew about it. Like I explained to him, like this person is trash.
How long were y'all together?
Uh, about a year and a half. Like we started at the end of 2019. We ended in August of 2021.
You said August of 2021. So it's been about a year. You've been single for about a year?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to get back out there yet or no?
Yeah, I'm ready to get back out there. I've been dating around, talking to people, experiencing new stuff. Low key, high key, like trying to date this couple, but things are going back and forth. But technically, I'm still single because I'm not nobody's person yet.
So you said this couple, you're open to non-monogamy?
Yes.
Would this be your first time dating a couple?
No.
How has that worked for you in the past?
The last two couples that I've dated have actually they're lifelong friends. Love them to death. Sometimes things just didn't work out, but I mean, it was absolutely fun. I love being part of a triad. I love like being in it. There's so many benefits. It's the main benefit everybody's thinking of. It's not like what is it, like a rotating sex thing. It's more you have multiple incomes to actually depend on, so you guys can get together, do things, have trips. I had one couple who was helping me get everything together for school. One of them was a psychiatrist. I'm trying to finish my psychology degree, so there was a lot of guidance there, and still that guidance is still there. So there's, for me, I always look for people that are going to elevate me. So it's like I will bring you with me, but also bring me with you, just as long as it's not down.
Now that's an advantage. I can appreciate, honey. We hear a lot of people talking about non-monogamy and the advantages and the disadvantages, and honestly, I don't think people talk about the financial aspect of it enough.
I think that people just aren't focused on it because you look at somebody more so as a sexual being, and that's all you really want from them. And then you start to realize that there's so much more to a person. So, I mean, sex is there, and then people are like, oh, well, the sex is bad. But then, like, okay, the sex was bad because y'all didn't communicate. Like, y'all didn't learn each other's languages. You didn't figure out how this person's body responds. So the sex wasn't bad. It just wasn't figured out at that point. And there's something to figure out. There's always new things to learn and go through. So you just move from there.
Mm-hmm. In my experience, I feel like sex has only ever been bad when, like you said, the communication wasn't there, or I was just incompatible, sexually incompatible with the other person. But that's a whole different thing. In these cases where you dated couples, is it a thing where you've been like into one partner and they bring you into the relationship, or is it a thing where you're interacting with both partners in the same ways, romantically and sexually?
Well, for me, my approach has always been to date both people at the same time. So one person may start talking to me, and if I find out that you have a partner, I'm like, okay, where are they? Let's get them involved in this conversation. I'm not going to be anybody's prize on the side or anything like that. Like, so let's all make sure that we talk. We all need to hang out. I may and I have connected with one of the partners more so than I have the other one, and that doesn't mean that I don't want to like nurture and get that relationship going. It's just it was easier to connect with this one. But in my mind, if I'm dating a couple, I'm still like I see couples as one person, so I'm still dating y'all. Like when I say you, I'm referring to both of y'all, not necessarily just like this one person.
Okay, I like the way that you worded that and your perspective behind that, because I think for a lot of people, when they think of triad situation potentially, they, of course, I think many people think of the idea of losing their partner to a new partner, to the person that they're bringing in. But it sounds to me like you come into the relationship with no intentions of getting in between the couple that's already established.
Absolutely, because that's y'all have your relationship and we need to have ours. I'm not here to wreck your home. I mean, the home wrecking is so messy because you rack up a home and then realize that you walked in and you fucked up an apartment. There wasn't a home here to begin with, so it was a waste of time. So to me, it's just, y'all have your thing and like y'all have things that you need to work out and work on, and that's fine. And we have our stuff and we're good. And eventually, like, it won't just be the two of you, it'll be the three of us, and then we figure out things from there.
I take it. I take it. Um, and just a curious, messy question from me, because I know that you're pansexual. Are these gay couples, straight couples, lesbian couples? Is there a variety? Is there assorted flavors?
It's definitely assorted flavors. It's been a new thing. Um, I don't know if this is messy or not. I seem to have a penchant for trans people. Uh, it's always fun. One of the couples that I was dating, they were both trans, so I was dating a trans man and a trans woman. And it was so funny because one night I was out with the trans woman. The trans man was on a business trip, and we were just out at the bar having a drink. And my coworker walked up, and he's like, "Oh, is this your girlfriend?" And I'm like, "Yes. Like, this is the girlfriend that I'm dating that I've been telling you about." And he's like, "Your girlfriend's kind of manly," and I'm just like, "That's a little rude." But the whole thing is, if my girlfriend has a dick, I'm gonna suck it. So I'm gonna need you to chill. Like, this might.
Yes, honey. I think that one made YouTube. I think
It's just, I'm just like, that's just, to me, that's just common sense. They just be like, "Oh, well, your girl has a dick. Okay, it's bigger than yours. Like, what's up? Like, what was the point of that comment?" Like,
love the confidence of it all. I appreciate that. And I know for a lot of trans people and you being non-binary identifying, I'm sure you get fetishism as well. And you know that is a sensitive topic for our community. But I'm a person who's a firm believer of spectrum, like the gray area. I feel like it's not. I feel like you would want someone who is in love with you or pursuing you romantically to fetishize you at least a little bit. You know, is
I,
doesn't sexual attraction come with fetishism, or am I wrong?
um, I think I think at a certain point, it starts to come with fetishism if you have like a clear cut defined thing. And my whole thing is like, if I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you, and we'll work everything out later. Like, so with the trans man, I cannot tell you how many dates I would love going on with the trans man, because I would just put a skirt on and some heels and just be like, "All right, let's go." Full beard and all. Like, we're like downtown, or we're like, we're like the rich, like straight people hang out, just chilling in a restaurant, having a good time. And it's just, for me, it's becomes like less, for me personally, it's less of a fetishization. And at the same time, being somebody black in the queer community, I 100%, like, we get fetishized every time. Every time you open a dating app, somebody is just like, "Oh, I love me some blackness," or like, "Oh,
BBC.
like BBC chocolate," like anything else, like, and it. I don't necessarily think that, like, I think for POC, we don't necessarily fetishize people just because we're the victim of it so much. So we don't step at somebody looking like, "Oh, you're something different," or "My parents would totally not approve of you," versus we're just like, "Hey, we're vibing. Like, we vibe."
I think as black people, we definitely, or at least from in my experience, I've never seen a black person be like, "I'm going to date you because my parents don't approve of you." I definitely don't think that that's a black community.
It's definitely not a black thing, but definitely, I know that's one of the things that we had said on our podcast is like, "Yo, don't invite me over to the house if, like, this is to, like, piss off Nima and Teapot. Like, don't have me come over. Don't have me, like, if you're dating me to piss your parents off, or, like, because you've got Black Lives Matter in your profile, find something better to do with your time."
Honey, what Cardi say? If ain't no ring on my finger, you ain't going on my gram, honey. So don't, honey. I'm not a Hennessy Marie. I'm the girl that will lie and say I didn't fuck you. Don't play in my face. Why? I already asked you that. You said that you're trash single. I mean, you're trash ex. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The wine kicked in. Um, and you are ready. You are ready to be out there dating. You have been out there. What would you say is a strength for you in a relationship?
The patience that I have. That is definitely something that took me a long time to build up. It's definitely something it took me a long time to actually experience. And having dealt with people who I've dated who've been patient with me, putting that patience forward has just been absolutely amazing. Uh, I seen him sneak in here, but somebody in the couple, he ain't here. He ain't here. And one of the things that I think most of our conversation revolves around is him feeling that I'm not going to be patient, or him being like, "Oh, you gonna get tired of me," or anything. And my whole thing is, it's like, one, you're trying. Like Eric, I know you in here, don't play, but one, you trying. You're doing your best. And as long as you're trying, I'm good. Like if I come to you and I'm like, "Hey, you did this and that hurt me. Please don't do it again." Even if you do it again, but you've been trying not to do said action again, then I see that and I recognize that. And I have patience for that. It's when you stop doing that, it's when you run out of patience that things start to actually like fall apart. So definitely patience, and then the other side of that coin would be communication.
I dig it. Weakness. Your weakness.
Yeah, my weakness, letting people actually know what my real vulnerabilities are.
Ah, ah. So,
So
so your real weakness isn't something that you're probably going to be able to even process to tell me right now, huh?
no, honestly, I think maybe. Well, now that you say it, now my processor just stopped. Hang on, but I would think that my biggest weakness is um, it's the self sabotage. Like 100%. Like I'll be that person who, if I see you if I see you stop trying, then I'm done. Like I've already cut it off. Like if like I'm like, okay, I told you this, you stop trying. This is strike two. We don't get to strike three because the first time you did it with your whole chest. So I'm very unforgiving in that sense. So it's just I'll just be done. And I think that's my hardest thing because some people will be like, oh well, I didn't really mean it, but I'm like, you only get two strikes. Like this isn't baseball.
Friend, sounds like a boundary to me, and I'm all for boundaries. Could you describe your ideal partner to me?
Somebody who has some of the same qualities that I do: patience, um, I'm sorry, somebody's saying something. I just realized there's a little chat down there at the bottom. Seems like it boils down to trust issues. I would definitely not say that it would be trust issues specifically because if you tell me if you tell me you're about something, I'm gonna believe you by default. So, if you tell me you work in fashion, I'm gonna believe you work in fashion until I show up and you fold in jeans. There's a difference. But sorry, what was the question that you asked? Because I just seen that pop up, and I'm like, oh, there's a chat here.
I asked if you could describe your ideal partner to me. You said patient.
Definitely patient, open with communication. I don't have anything about I don't have any hangups on race, body type, or anything like that. I've been with a myriad of different people and from different walks in life, and you'd have to have some kind of drive. Like I would love for you to be employed, but I live alone. I pay my own bills, so I'm secure in that. But you definitely need to have drive. Like at least be trying to go somewhere. Don't sit here. I think it was like Jennifer Landry. I can't remember the lady's name. She's a really famous black artist, and I feel bad because I say this all the time. But she said, if you sit in shit too long, they stop smelling, and that's something that stuck with me. So if you're somebody who's sitting in shit and you're not trying to move anywhere, I'm gonna leave. Like
Could you? I heard you say you would prefer unemployed, but could you genuinely see yourself dating someone who's unemployed?
I have. I actually have. I had one ex who's like my best friend. Like we started dating and he was on unemployment and his unemployment ran out and I was paying part of his rent. I was bringing in food. And he lived 140 miles away and I was there every weekend with him, just making sure that he's okay throughout the week because I have my baseline that I'm going to take care of myself, and anything beyond that is what I'll be able to provide for you. But again, you have to know that there's a limit, but I'm still going to do what I can. I'm your partner.
I dig it. I dig it. Give me 1 second, please. I'm going to mute my mic for just 1 second.
Oh well, Joe, thing for me really is though is that like it was, I would say, an investment, but it was definitely one of the better decisions. And he's went through, he went through it. He ended up being homeless for, like, we broke up. He was homeless for a little while, but he got his life back together. And like I talk to this fool like every day. Like he's one of the first people I say hello to. He's one of the last people I say goodnight to. Like, he went through and he got his life together. He didn't get it together when we were together, but he came back, and that same support that I showed him, like he shows it to me. Like, he'll just drop some money in my cash app for whatever, or be like, go buy yourself something nice. Like if I want a video game, he'll buy it and send it to me. I do believe in potential, because the whole thing is we're always constantly evolving. Like look at a picture of yourself 3 years ago. Look at a picture 6 months ago. You're constantly going forward.
Potential is real. I honestly asked the question for selfish reasons because of my own current insecurities in dating, with the fact that I don't have a 9 to 5 right now and I am content creating full time. I'm technically unemployed and I'm hoping to be able to collect unemployment any day now. But I I have been weighing what one of the reasons why I'm not ready to, I'm open to talk and I'm open to date, but I'm not ready to pursue a relationship with another person right now. And it's because I don't have an income to really maintain the lifestyle that I'm accustomed to at the moment. And I don't feel comfortable putting that responsibility on someone else. However, there have been people who have been attempting to date me, knowing my circumstances. So I'm just curious on how another person would feel. Me personally, I have taken care of partners in the past, and I'm very similar. I think very similar to you. If I could afford it, my partner wouldn't have to work. When I can afford it, my partner doesn't have to work, that type of thing, and I don't have any issue with it. I was in a long-term relationship where we were considering him being a stay-at-home dad if we could conceive, so it was just a curious question.
Okay.
um what are your deal breakers, because you seem pretty open, so what are deal breakers for you?
Uh, Lying is a big one for me. My other big one. Some people might not like this, but people who are not responsible with their sexual health. That is a huge big one for me. Like you do, I don't care if we are in a relationship or not. Even if we're dating, every 3 months you need to be getting that checkup. If you do happen to be HIV positive, you need to be making sure that you're taking your medication properly, doing everything to make sure that your immune system is as good as it can be. Because like I don't want you running around here not taking your meds or feeling like you're not worth it. Not taking care of your mental health is a huge one for me. I'm somebody who has mental health challenges, and we're talking, I went to my doctor and I demanded treatment. It wasn't, oh, I feel this. I was like, what are we going to do about this, and why should I keep giving you this money? So how are we going to fix this? So if you have a mental health challenge and you're not taking care of it, or you're actively avoiding it, that's a big no-no for me. Like you have, and especially for people in our community, our mental health is so bad. Just the fact that you could walk down the street and somebody could just perceive you for a hot second, and you could get shot up, you could get beat up, anything could happen. You got people in your workspace who are just like, oh, this person is queer, let me fuck with them just because they're queer. Because you have to deal with that. That takes a toll on your mental health. And if you're not checking in with you definitely ain't got the time to check in with me.
Ain't shit I can say, honey, but I concur. Um, we know that you don't have appearance preferences. I love the kindred spirit of it all. There's very few of us who can really see past the physical. So I love when I meet another sibling who has that perspective. I don't judge people who do have physical appearance preferences, because I know that is a big thing. We're conditioned for that to be a big thing. But I do think people like us are interesting to be able to somehow navigate outside of that conditioning. Um, would you consider yourself more of a dominant or a submissive personality in relationships?
That depends on the energy. 100% on the energy. I mean, I've been that person who's completely not embarrassed to the person that I'm calling daddy, being around their friends, and they call that person sis. I'm still not embarrassed because, okay, that's sister daddy. That's fine. Um, and it really, I also think that um, dom and submission, it's a spectrum, and it's not even just the energy, because the energy changes moment to moment. And there are times where, like, I tend to fall more in the dom thing, but it's just in my head. Like, I'm like the bigger person, so I'm more of like the protect. But I'm the person that I'm walking down the street, nobody's gonna try to fight, or at least they gonna think about it for a hot second. Like, you may not know what my gender is. All you know is that I got a knife or three on me somewhere, and that's what you should be trying to figure out. But for me, it's always so different, but it's nice, and it'll get you in the right headspace if somebody actually is dominant with me, because it throws me off a little bit, but I still love it, because like the weirdest but like most like my clothes just caught on fire moment is you opened a door for me. You pulled my chair out while we were at a restaurant. But you don't think about like little tiny things like that. Like, I think one of the reasons why my ex had me for so long is because he would go open the car. I'd be in the car, he'd get out and open the car door for me. And I just was like, what? Okay. Like, but like, and not like would like walk in front of me, but like not like, oh, like I'm somebody behind him or I'm lesser. It was like more like he would walk in front and be kind of scoping things out to just make sure that the place was safe, like that kind of energy. And that is definitely something. It bounces back and forth, and I think it's crazy that people need to be it. There's so much stuff that I've done with the kink community and everything, and just with dom submission, it pisses me off so much that people see it as such a binary thing, where it's like you have to be dom or you have to be submissive, because 99% of these people that you feel are dominant are just aggressive bullies that got bullied in high school and now need to bully their partner. Like, okay, you a dom, all right, we at the park. Where's my Tylenol at? Did you make sure that we took my Xanax in case I came out here and had a panic attack? Where are the fruit snacks in your pocket? You got a juice box, man, nigga? Where's my little shot of Hennessy? It's my day off. Like, where's your fanny pack with my shit in it? Like, you're just angry.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And a lot of people who want to stick to that binary are usually not. Even that in itself is a disguise. Being somebody who isn't very kinky but tends to attracts kinky people. I'm very switchy, and you're not going to be binary with me. That's not an option, because it really depends on the day. I give very top energy. I give very big tick energy, but I'm also the puss.
I, but see, that part though, like, I can you how many people, like, for one, like the thing, I give off that BDE so bad. People actually think I'm 6'2". I'm 5'6" on a good day. Like,
I'm
people see,
5'5".
right? People have watched, uh the little couple that I had started dating. One of the partners like made the comment, and I thought it was so fucking funny, because he's all, "You were so much shorter than I thought you were." I was like, "How tall did you think I was?"
I,
Like six,
I,
six.
I get that a lot too. People meet me in person when I don't have heels on. It's like they looking down at me like, "Oh wow, you're a tiny little thing." But let's get through this, friend,
Yeah.
because we could talk all night. Um, when were you last physically intimate with someone?
Mm, let's say 2 weeks ago. I think Eric was here 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Okay, and I already spook set that that is part of the couple that you're dating. So
Yes.
so it's no need to ask why not, because we don't know.
No,
With
like,
that's still loading, and you are welcome to come back and check in. I'm always here to be nosy.
right? I think that was the last time, but it was just something. It wasn't like full on sex. It was just like kind of quick, but it was like, that energy was there, and it.
But to me, it's all about the. We won't even go into that. What is your age range for dating?
My age range is typically 5 years, give or take. Like from like where I'm at, like at this point in life, I have made exceptions. I mean, I was 25 when I was dating this 51-year-old, but he had money and he flew a bitch out to Miami, so I didn't have shit to say. But typically, I do try to keep it like 5 to 5. But like sometimes this boy be looking real good, but sometimes so do his dad or his mom. Like,
And you said that you were 32, right?
35.
35. So that's 30 to 40. Up-
30 to 40. But I mean, like, I say like I try to keep it that range, but I mean it depends on what your energy is, because there's always an exception.
I take it. I take it. How do you feel about kids? Would you or have you dated someone with kids?
I have dated people with kids. I love kids. I would love to have some of my own, but if that's not in the cards for me, that's not in the cards for me, and that's okay. But kids are cool, just as long as your other partner or like baby's mom, as long as there's nothing crazy going on with that, I'm cool, because I'm calm and I do the tea and the incense and all of that, but I'll lay you all the way out like a brick. Like I have no qualms about it.
I'm here for it. And how do you feel about marriage?
I would love to do it. Like I would actually love to be married, if for two reasons. One, I have always like when I think about like marriage and everything, anytime I think about it and I have free time, I'll design a wedding dress. It's always been a dress. It's never been a tux. Like my whole life I'm just like, I'm gonna walk down the aisle in a dress and nobody's gonna have anything to say. But two, I just really feel like marriage would be able to it would take and solidify everything that I have, and it would at least let me, even if temporarily, either, till death do us part, or, a hoe with sandwiches shows up, at least for that time being, I would feel secure and I would have my safety net. So I would be able to grow further from where I'm at. And for me, that's just an amazing, like, that's something that I want. Like, I'm stable enough for myself. I'd love to feel what it would be like to be stable enough for somebody else. And I just think it's a beautiful thing.
I take it. I take it. You already told us that you don't have income requirements for a partner. Night in or night out?
Energy again. So there are some people like, so my whole thing, like, I love to cook, clearly. So my whole thing is like, you come over, I can cook a whole bunch of stuff, but I mean, like, from scratch. We're not doing like I'm not gonna do microwave burritos and anything. You want some cheddar biscuits, some gumbo, sit down. Like, we can do that. Or we can go out, and I mean, I don't have to go anywhere expensive. Like, you could literally be like, hey, let's go to McDonald's and go have a picnic in the park, and I'm gonna take you to this favorite tree that I grew up with, like, as a kid. We could do that, or we could go out dancing, drinking, and have a good time. Like, to me, it's just kind of like, what's the energy for the day? How's your week going and everything? But my whole thing is, as long as I get to spend that time with you, that's what matters to me.
I get the impression that you're quite extroverted.
Sort of. It's kind of weird. So I'm that person that will go out and like everybody knows, and like I'll talk to people and everything, but I prefer to stick to the little tribe I went out with.
You said,
But also, like, people come up to me too, and they be like, "Oh my god, how are you?" And I'm just like, doing just fine.
yeah, yeah, I. It sounds like you're a lot like me. Like you're one of those people that's kind of cool with everybody, but you have your chosen few who you really let in.
Yeah, like I came with these people. This is who I'm gonna stick with. This like I don't go home with people from the bar. Like, that's never been a thing for me, because I came out with homies. That's who I'm gonna be with. Like, that's who I came out to hang out with, and like that's just it. But if people come up and talk and they want to get into the group and everything, I'm here for that. Here's my number. Here's my social media. Like, here's the Snapchat or whatever. We can talk tomorrow.
Joe, you gotta watch the playback. Joe, we did a whole conversation about polyamory. It's too much to review, but you gonna want to watch the playback, Joe.
That's good.
Do you know your love language is wrong?
Time spent, touch, and affection. That's pretty much it. Like, I'm that person who, I don't have to be like talking to you. I don't necessarily have to be like in your space or in your thing, as long as I know you're somewhere in the in the apartment, in the house, as long as I know you're there, I'm good. Like I don't have to necessarily be all hugged upon you and clingy and everything. I do get to the point where I do need touch. It doesn't have to be anything intimate. You can just hold my hand for a couple of minutes, or just come sit with me or whatever. I'm cool with that. And then just affection, because people are so afraid of PDA, and for me, being part of the queer community and you showing PDA is amazing, because you're that proud and that willing and that wanting to be with me that it doesn't matter who's around. You can show affection at any time in any given space.
I dig it. I dig it. That's honestly still to this day something that I'm learning to get comfortable with. It's something that I honestly run from. It makes me cringe sometimes. But I'm learning to get comfortable with it. I've definitely learned that it's my own insecurities and conditioning that I haven't unpacked. Um, are you willing to relocate for love, or is San Diego it for you?
I will relocate, but I'm also going to bring you here because home is home. I'm sorry. The only city in California that's, I would say, better, but it's on the same vibe as San Diego would be San Francisco. LA, cut it. But no. But San Diego, I'm going to bring you, you going to see my home. You going to see where I grew up. You going to meet the friends. You going to meet the family. But if I need to move somewhere, I've been a bunch of other places in the world. And even though Cali is home, if you're where home isn't a place, it's a feeling. So that's where I'm going to go.
I take it. I take it. I should be in LA soon. I'm going on a road trip soon. I'm gonna vlog the whole thing. But how far is LA from San Diego?
It's about 2 hours, just because of the traffic and everything. But it's a good 100 miles. It's not too far. But let me know, and I might just pop up.
I will let you know, and I will keep you posted, and I might just pop up. I definitely would love to meet you in person, friend. Um, last question. What would make you a great partner?
I would think that a lot more self-confidence in myself. I hold myself to a higher standard than I should. So for me, one of the things that I always am down on myself about is not finishing an education, because I got a bunch of side hustles, but I don't have a degree. I want a degree. Um, but definitely getting the degree in hand, just because I'd be able to find just a more steadfast source of income and be in a field that I actually like being in. I do not like being a data analyst. It's something I'm good at, but I hate it. But I think that definitely just learning how to chill with some of the expectations that I have for myself, because it's body wise, personality wise, spiritually, I feel like I'm working on all of that, and I'm very happy with that. But it's just, for me, it's just that education thing just keeps hanging over my head, and I'm just I need to get, if I can get that, I can let some of that go.
That is something that we have in common. That's actually one of the demons that I'm struggling with now, that I'm sure exacerbates my depression and anxiety. I will share with you. I don't know what advice to give, but I'll share with you what I'm doing. One of the reasons that I'm not pursuing 9 to 5 work right now and continuing pursuing the content creating is because I'm I'm going back to get my degree. I'm tired of it hanging over my head. I do have a couple of degrees, but I don't have my master's in psychology yet. So I'm going back.
You should you should get it.
Thanks.
To get it, go for it with it. There are so many, especially once you hit the master's levels. There are so many programs out there for queer people. There are so many programs out there for people of color. I mean, I give them a shout, but the NAACP, if you join their little thing, I think it's $50 a year or something like that. But if you pay the little membership, that opens you up to a bunch of their scholarship programs. There's a stupid website. I think it's scholarship.com. I'll check in with my friend who's an MD who's
We
also.
can have this conversation off,
But please, please.
because this is about you. This is about you. But
Yeah, but I want you to finish it, because you're one of those people that's going to be here for the community. Because I think you in psychology for the same reason that I am. And it's because people like us don't get heard at all. and they need somebody. They need somebody who's gonna sit there and listen. Like if you show up to my appointment and you start taking your braids out or something, I'm not gonna look at you crazy. I'm not gonna be like, "What are you doing?" I'm totally gonna understand. Like,
No, no, no. Yeah, it's many reasons, friend. But we definitely have a lot in common. So I'm sure our passion is ignited by some of the same fuel. Yeah, definitely. Um, Tell the people how to get in touch with you.
y'all can find me on Instagram at RONE9, and then I think TikTok is RONENE9, just because somebody took my handle. But yeah, I'm here. I'm on TikTok. I might be on Twitter, but it's deactivated at the moment. We'll talk about it later. But everything's pretty much that.
Thank you for coming on, Ron. I love and appreciate you so much. You're a content creator who I supported long before I started even making videos.
And thank you for being you, because I love the presence that you have and the way that you inspire the rest of the kids to be themselves. Like, it's weird having done content for so long in other realms and then seeing somebody else do it, and I'm just like, this is amazing. So thank you.
Thank you, friend.
You're welcome. See you later. Bye.
Yes, yes, good show, good show. I had another friend who was considering coming on, I believe. Um, D, do you have time? Do you have time to come up, D? I know you're busy. Thank you, JoJo says I'm a legend. I'm gonna get my legendary status for real. I'm gonna get the girls to deem me. I don't know if it's gonna be from me getting back out on the floor, which I'm going to regardless. Or I don't know if it's going to be from the social media, which I'm going to regardless. Because you know they giving girls legendary status off of social media, honey, now. So honey, we will see. But I'm going my community going to deem me. All right, D, I'm about to bring you up. Hey D, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Can you real quickly give the people your name? Tell them a little about you.
So my name is Demetrius. Born and raised in Louisiana. Cool cat.
You said you don't have long, but we did chat a little bit, and you were saying that you wanted to discuss. D left. I D, I don't know what happened. Maybe one of D's girls came in. D told me that he wanted to discuss being trans attracted or being attracted to trans women. I was trying to figure out how to word it, but I guess that I guess that ends the show. To shout out to Demetrius from Louisiana. Cool cat, honey. Peace, love, and blessings.